Y'all, we got food at home. Come on. Okay. So first I was an onion. I did about half of a large onion, chop that up. I'm doing a green bell pepper, a whole bell pepper, getting the innards out. I'm not sure if that's a correct term. Chopping that up. Please tuck your fingers. We don't want any casualties. Please don't come here talking about you chopped your fingers off and it was my fault. Tuck your fingers when you are using a knife. This is a Poblano pepper. I'm only going to use about half. De-seed it, please. Some people are really sensitive to spice. Poblano peppers are really not that spicy, but just use half and de-seed, please. Now I got some cloves of garlic. You can use garlic if you want to. I'm using 3 cloves. Do what you want to. What Tabitha Brown say? Because that's your business. I'm not here to judge. So just use about 3 cloves of garlic. Put that in with the vegetable mixture. And then we are going to let that simmer prior to putting in our meat. Okay, but check out my Le Creuset dupe off Amazon. It's in my Amazon storefront. Love this thing, and it's a fraction of the cost. So again, we're gonna saute the vegetables, we'll get them a little translucent. Then we are going to put in our ground beef. So this is about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, and this is part of my meat. In total, I would put about 2 pounds of meat of your choice. So I'm going to add in some hot and spicy sausage as my other 1/2 ounce of meat. You're going to get a little bit of grease. I like to pull out some of that grease before I finish the process. Do as you will. You can just pull over to the side, get a napkin, and kind of soak up that grease. And then I'm going to move on with the rest of the process. So now you have your sauteed vegetables. You have both meats in there. You're going to brown the meat until it's cooked. I like to do that prior to adding in all of our kind of sauces and tomatoes and all that. With the seasoning, y'all, I'm letting the ancestors guide me, okay? So don't ask me exact measurements. Some salt, some pepper. I'm going to put in some chili seasoning. Chili seasoning is really easy to make, but I'm using a packet. So if you're using a packet too, put about half in there, and then we'll add the other half later on. Okay, boom. So this is the main part. I put 1 can of tomato sauce. I'm going to put 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I usually like petite ones, but I got regular. Y'all, I got like 11 cans, different cans of stuff. It is because, you know, the snowpocalypse in Dallas, and so I got to get what I can get. So 2 cans of diced tomatoes. I'm going to do 1 can of red kidney beans, and then I'm going to do 1 can of black beans. I had to switch it up on y'all, but it's super, super good. Then I'm going to put in some tomato paste. I meant to put the tomato paste in, y'all, actually prior to all these other ones. I like to put the tomato paste directly with the meat. Get that kind of mixed in with the meat first before I add more of the liquids. But it'll do the same thing, y'all. Not a big deal. Then I'm going to put in some bone broth. You can use stock or whatever. I like to use bone broth because it has a higher protein content. So do, again, what you want with that. I let that simmer a little bit, and I tasted it, and I wanted to add a little bit more seasonings. I had some smoked paprika. I realized my hand's in the way. But again, you're letting your ancestors guide you, okay? So don't be worried about what my ancestors telling me. So that's some liquid smoke because I really like the smoky flavor in chili. A little bit of barbecue sauce. I'm telling y'all, it's great. Some barbecue sauce, and then I'm going to add some cinnamon. It's going to set it off, y'all. Just listen. Just trust me. Just trust me. Again, put a little bit there, a little bit here. Do what you feel, okay? Then I am going to put in some more salt as well. And then to have a little bit of sweetness, I like to put a little brown sugar. So you have a little bit of that savory, smoky with a little bit of sweet. Bomb, y'all. it up. I would let it simmer for 45 minutes to an hour, and voila, y'all. Do you see this? It was so good. And I added some cornbread, y'all. I used the box. Just follow the box, y'all. But I got some honey butter and put it over the top, and it set it off. And here we go. You got your chili and you got your food at home.